Welcome to our channel. Today we're actually going to talk about two-wheelers and getting around in traffic jams.
So we're going to talk about our personal vehicles. So we have a scooter and a motorcycle. We're going to show you all of that. All right then, Christophe, are you going to show us your bike?
Yeah. So it's a Honda XR, 150 cubic centimeters. It's perfect here for the city, it's light. And for traffic jams too, weaving through, there's nothing better. It's not in very good shape because I do a lot of off-roading as well. Sometimes I go into the mountains and the roads aren't exactly in great condition, so I prefer having this kind of motorcycle. And I've had it for a few years now too.
What's the actual engine size exactly?
It's 150 cubic centimeters.
Okay. What do you have as a...
I haven't parted with it. It's original, all original, completely original. I took off the stickers because anyway, they were coming off over time. And besides, I can't say I take special care of it, so I needed something sturdy. I don't really have time to look after it because with the kids...
How many years ago did you buy it?
It must be about 6 years old, something like that. I don't really remember. I did upgrade it a little. I changed the speedometer. I put in an electronic one. But apart from that, that's the only modification I've made that allows...
Okay. So is it comfortable? Because actually that's really the problem. It's the roads here.
Comfortable, well, for really long trips, it's definitely not ideal at all. But I've actually gone to Hilo several times with this very bike, which is, I don't even know exactly how many kilometers that is, but you absolutely have to cross the entire island to get there. It's quite a journey, and it takes a considerable amount of time and effort to complete such a significant traverse across the whole landmass. And that means a whole day of...
Is the seat comfortable?
It's perfectly okay, the comfortable seat.
How long does it take before your butt starts to hurt? That's what's important here.
That really depends on each person. But overall, no, it's fine. Honestly, I can't complain. It's a good bike.
How about fuel consumption?
Fuel-wise, a full tank costs me 10 euros, less than 10 euros. Then I can go 300 kilometers on that. I should also mention that I don't exactly take it easy. I tend to accelerate.
Yeah, I saw how you ride. A bit crazy.
There are people with the same bike who manage to get 400 kilometers out of it.
Okay, you can certainly carry passengers, and that is perfectly fine and acceptable.
Yeah, well, when I took my wife or a child, there was no problem. Otherwise, I have a scooter to sometimes take the whole family. It's easier.
Have you ever had any breakdowns with it?
With this one, no. No. I have a problem with the fork leaking. But no, apart from that...
It's because of the roads. It hits hard.
But other than that, no problems.
What do you like about this bike and what don't you like?
Actually, what do I like? Well, actually, it's easy to ride, light and very maneuverable, especially for around here. Now, as soon as you go on the highway, I would prefer a slightly bigger engine. Here, big engines, I had a big bike before, it's too dangerous. You tend to want to go fast, but I'd say a 250, maybe 400 at most here for the Philippines is ideal because they drive like they don't know how to drive. They don't know how to handle a vehicle. Most people don't even know that traffic laws exist.
A lot of them don't even have a license.
They can cut across the road at virtually any given moment, emerging from seemingly anywhere without stopping or even pausing for anything at all. You really have to be careful. You always have to try to anticipate.
You haven't told me about the drawbacks. What are the drawbacks of this bike?
The engine size. The only drawback is that the engine isn't powerful enough, but apart from that, no, it rides very well. I'm not going to complain.
How much did you pay for it?
800 euros, I think, something like that.
Yeah, they're still cheaper than in France. They cost a lot less here. They're about $1,000 cheaper, easily.
Yeah, but they're not the same models either.
No, but still. Because if you look at certain models, they have the same engines.
Yeah, well, in France, we have fuel injection.
We don't have the same engines.
No, but in France, yeah, most of the 150cc bikes have fuel injection. The engines are still more durable. They're liquid cooled. This one is air cooled.
Oh, it's air-cooled? I didn't even notice.
So yeah, there are quite a few subtle little differences that also make it significantly cheaper, which is a great benefit.
All right.
More basic. Alain, it's your turn now. You're going to tell us about your scooter.
What exactly do you want to know today?
Why did you buy this scooter and what have you done to it?
Actually, I bought this scooter at, you see, I had everything back then over there. And then I rode it. Actually, I bought it because I really liked the look.
Yeah, you've got a nice scooter. I can see that.
Afterwards, I upgraded it. Now it's far from stock, but I improved it.
We can see that you've added quite a few parts.
What I really liked was the look, but in terms of, actually, when you arrive in the Philippines, the problem is you don't necessarily pay attention to how the roads are here, because honestly, it's a disaster. And then there are some places where they're fine, but there are others where, especially when it comes to the suspension and all that, you might want something better.
You also told me that you upgraded it.
Yes, I put in a good, then the whole engine was changed. Let's say I have about 10 more horsepower than the original.
How many cubic centimeters is it now?
Originally it was 150.
And now you have?
215. Modification.
For here, that's perfect.
Yes, that's exactly what's needed. That's enough. But what's nice here is that you can actually afford to make modifications. There are plenty of shops, they do mechanical work and everything. Of course, you shouldn't go just anywhere, but you can go to mechanics who actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, because you told me you still had to put it on the dyno.
Yeah, to tune it and everything, because otherwise it just doesn't run right.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of comfort, how is it?
Well, I changed the seat. That is a very bad idea. It certainly looks much better, but it is quite old now, you see, and not really suitable. Now it's a bit torn, but it's a lot harder than the original one. And I have to admit, it really, with the roads here, I'm going to have to buy a...
Something like a...
Yeah, foam pad on top.
Or a gel one, like people are using more and more now.
It really hurts your butt. And also, I changed the shocks too, but they're old, so I need to replace them again. They're stiff. I want softer suspension because this is just, you really have to actually. If you get a scooter here, I think you really need to get a comfortable two-wheeler. Or else you need to set the suspension to soft mode, let's say.
And have you already done a lot of riding with it?
Yeah, I've actually ridden quite a bit. On these trips I've done, it has about 40,000 kilometers on it. I've done some big trips, about 500 or 600 kilometers in a day I've managed to do.
That's already pretty good. Because here it's true that the distances aren't the same as in Europe.
They're not the same. There are no highways. You can't go fast. Doing 600 here is difficult.
Absolutely. So if we talk about fuel consumption now, what does it look like?
Stock, it's fine. It doesn't use too much. I think you get about 250 to 300 kilometers. For me, the problem isn't really... These days, I can't really say anymore because I have a bigger tank and I get less than that. Because with the PG engine, but I think in stock form, you get about 250 kilometers on a full tank. It's pleasant to ride and it's got some punch. Even stock, it's still a good scooter.
No, it's very nice. It's really cool. Compared to my scooter, it's more basic.
Yeah, but that's... You also have less maintenance. With this one, you have a lot of maintenance because as soon as it's modified, you have to change the oil more often. Then, in terms of with yours, you don't have any space under the seat. You have a top case. Me, I have a... You see, I have the...
Yeah, I saw.
I'll show you the space under the seat. Well, it's a bit messy in there, but there's still... You can still fit a helmet in there. Not two, but one. This is something I added as an option. It's for the oil, it's for the engine, but originally it doesn't come with it. All this wiring here, all of that, it's modifications, but normally it's not there. No, honestly, it's a really good and reliable Yamaha scooter. For those who can't afford an X-Max or a T-Max, it's a very good scooter.
It's not the same price.
No, it's not the same price. You see, for me, if there's a big scooter here or another one, I see them in the city, you can't ride it because it's too heavy. So with the roads here, what are they called? The nipples, you know, the ruts at the edge of the roads. Here, there aren't any. But the ruts at the edge of the roads, if you have a scooter that weighs 250 kilos, a motorcycle that weighs 250 kilos, you'll fall. It's way too heavy. So here, for a city like Cebu, all right, we'll just let him yell. For a city like Cebu, a 150cc or a 125 or even a bike like yours is perfect. But if you're more out in the provinces outside where there's no traffic,
you can get a bigger one.
Yeah, there you can get a bigger one. Now, when it comes to driving, you have to be very careful. So actually, these scooters are fine. They're not motorcycles, so they're still less dangerous. But here, a big motorcycle, honestly, in my opinion, you'll crash within the first year. I even think that even if you know how to ride, if you drive like you do in Europe, for sure, you'll have an accident. The problem is that people cut in anywhere. That means while you're driving, the guy doesn't look, he just cuts across the middle of the road, and then once he's in the middle, he looks. Actually, you have to anticipate 10 times more than in Europe.
They don't know what stop signs are. They mean nothing to them.
By the way, there are also some modifications, extra headlights that I put on the front. They're right here. That's very important. Here, both of them. If you can add those, if you have a vehicle in the Philippines, put extra headlights on your vehicle because the roads aren't lit at night or only very dimly.
And especially there are people who drive without headlights.
There are lots of people who drive without headlights. You just can't see them. Yet they turn them on when they see you coming toward them and then turn them off afterwards.
Or even from directly behind, there are absolutely no rear lights visible.
So that's super important. Install extra lights. It costs nothing, like 30 bucks or so. And it helps you avoid accidents. I think that's the best investment I've made. And horns. Yes, that oversized.
You hear?
Car horns. You can have those installed here for next to nothing. And it will often save you from an accident because if you have a loud horn here, people think it's a car coming, so they pay attention. If they hear a scooter horn, they just keep going because the sound isn't the same. They think it's a small vehicle, so they don't pay attention. Here, you need to know that a small vehicle, it doesn't have the right of way. It's the bigger one that has the right of way. So if you can install a loud horn or make a couple of modifications like that, it's always better. So now, Christophe, can you tell us about renting vehicles in the Philippines?
All right. So I have a scooter, and since we also do Airbnb, I make my scooter available to our guests. And well, it gets rented out. I have a little 125cc scooter that I rent for, let's say, 6 or 7 euros, 7 euros a day, and it allows them to get around here. However, we usually ask if they have an international driver's license. That's important because if you only have a regular license, they can confiscate the vehicle.
Yeah, so how long is the international license valid for?
So the international license here is valid for 3 months.
Yeah, after that, you're required to, so it's valid for all of them. So in Europe, when you get your license in Europe, in any country, when you go to another country, it's 3 months. After 3 months, you have to
leave the country and come back. That's it, because actually they're going to base it on the stamp in your passport.
So basically, if you stay more than 3 months, you have to
get a local license.
You don't have to redo it. You just need to exchange it for a local license.
Getting a new license here takes hours, you know. You can easily count on at least 3 or even 4 hours quite comfortably. This is because here everything truly moves at a much slower pace. It is certainly not very fast at all.
And for you, when it comes to the traffic and all of that, is it perfectly okay? Do you feel completely comfortable with everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. Well, I got my first motorcycle when I was 5, so I've been riding for quite a few years now. Yeah, so what would you recommend for someone who comes here and has never ridden a two-wheeler before? Yeah, they should probably go for a scooter. Yeah, well, ideally, especially if you've never ridden a two-wheeler before, no, you should forget about it. It's too dangerous. But if you have a little bit of experience, a scooter is perfect. It's perfect to start with because with this kind of vehicle, well, you already need to know how to shift gears. So what about insurance now?
So regarding your essential vehicle insurance, actually, when you go for your comprehensive annual pollution check, you will also conveniently get your necessary insurance coverage at precisely the same time. This ensures that your vehicle remains fully compliant and protected throughout the year. So it's the minimum required insurance.
Ideally, yeah, you should get additional insurance, but well, there are pros and cons. It's the same as always.
Yeah, but the crucial thing is here you really truly need a reliable dash cam if you want to be absolutely sure. Because if you ever need to definitively prove an unfortunate accident and you simply do not have a dash cam recording, well, it's going to be incredibly tough to do so.
Especially as a foreigner, yeah, you'll automatically be considered at fault.
Yeah, usually. So that's something to keep in mind. You shouldn't accept it if they ask you to sign when you know they're at fault. It's up to you to prove step by step that you weren't the one at fault. Even if people tell you, no, that's not how the rules work. You can easily check on chat. I broke the rules. I mean, the rules aren't much different. They're not really different from ours. you've reached the topic of accidents.
So I had someone cut me off, so they crashed into me. And so the police in charge of traffic really wanted to put all the blame on me and wanted to take me in. So I said that was out of the question. And they threatened to take me to the police station. So I said, okay, let's go to the police. And in the end, everything worked out. The police are much more understanding.
What specific advice would you give if there were to be an accident right here at this location?
Above all, do not move the vehicles. Most of the time, the people who have an accident with you, especially if it's their fault, will try to move their vehicle to make it look like you were at fault. So you absolutely have to stop them from moving the vehicle. Also, take the key out of the motorcycle because sometimes they try to leave, so you have to be very careful.
So first of all, we want to thank you for the first video we made. We got some great feedback. We saw that a lot of people watched it, but you forgot to subscribe.
Very few likes as well.
Very few likes. And so actually the reason we ask you to do this is simply because we need your help so that YouTube, that's it, to keep the channel going and so that YouTube can reference us properly. So it would really encourage us if you could subscribe, especially since it's just one click and a little thumbs up. It's really not.
No, it's not much.
No, it's not much.
It takes a few seconds.
That's it. So it really encourages us, and there you go. Anyway, we're going to keep going, but it's a bonus. What do you think?
Very good.
That's it. Nothing more to add. We'll leave it at that for now, and we'll see you in the next video. We don't know what it will be about, but
We'll see.
we'll see. We'll find a topic. See you later.